What do you see as sort of the major rest of the world risk that will be on our policymakers' plate as we move forward?
Well, as long as the United States has been a global power since the end of World War II, it's recognized that it can't devote equal energy, equal focus, equal resources to all of the parts of the world. Therefore, it's always had to have sort of key focus areas, top priority regions where the threat, the commitment, the U.S. interest were the greatest. But at the same time, to keep some attention in the other parts of the world, knowing that there is a linkage and interconnectedness between the different parts of the world. So there's always been sort of first tier and second tier regions. As you indicated, and as everyone knows, we reached a point today where the U.S. is clearly focused primarily on the Asia Pacific and the Middle East, but at the same time, there are simmering security threats in the other parts of the world. And I think that we've also reached a point in history where the simmering security threats, the potential problems in the other parts of the world have more of a direct effect on the primary regions than ever before because of globalization, because of global transparency, because of interconnectedness. So in this panel, we're going to do kind of a combination of two things. We're going to look at other regions of the world other than Middle East and Asia Pacific. We're also going to look at what might be called non-regional transnational threats and other regions of the world that might not get the attention of the Asia Pacific and the Middle East.
So it's not simply the impact of these geographic and functional areas on the United States, but their impact relative to each other and their impact on Asia Pacific and the Middle East. Yes?
Well, their impact on the United States and their impact on those core regions as well. And the argument being that in today's world, it's harder than it has been in the past to really draw a firm boundary between priority regions and secondary regions, simply because the world is so connected today. The necessity of the joint force to stay engaged in these other regions of the world and in these other problems so that it is cognizant of any growing threat, emerging threats there, kind of a long-term warning sort of thing. The other challenge for the joint force is to find a way to promote security, stability, and U.S. interests in these other regions of the world as efficiently as possible. Very often that means things like building partner capacity, working with other nations, working with non-traditional partners in these parts of the world. So I think that those are the things that the joint force really has to think about and what we're kind of euphemistically calling the rest of the world in this conference.